I talk a lot about how we're living in a dystopia, a pandemic that even at-risk people actively choose to ignore, runaway climate change that billionaires actively choose to exacerbate, gun violence that our governments actively choose to tolerate. I could go on, but you know what? Today, I'm going to just take a few minutes to argue for something that a lot of people seem to think is dystopian, but is actually very much utopian, or at least not dystopian, and that is liquid trees. It seems like every few weeks, this bobs up to the top of the social media toilet, with the most recent being a viral tweet reading, "Big day for people that wanted trees to be replaced by green slime in a glass tank. No one." Which would be a perfectly fine thing to tweet for some easy retweets had this joke/sentiment not already been expressed 10,000 times before. But this is it. This is the last straw. I am now here to defend the green slime. That's right. After 2 months of nonstop depressing and weird rabbit hole videos, I'm just going to relax right now and tell you the true tale, the wholesome tale of human ingenuity. Now, I get why people see this viral liquid tree installation and they immediately assume that this is the product of some capitalist invention to replace the humble tree, the first step towards ridding our planet of everything natural and good and replacing it with a cold Blade Runner aesthetic. But that isn't at all what this is. This is actually a project called Liquid 3, created by Dr. Ivan Spaciovic at the University of Belgrade's Institute for Multidisciplinary Research for Serbia's Climate Smart Urban Development Challenge. The project won in that challenge. They also won this year's Index Community Award for fostering health and well-being. For starters, Spaciovic did not create this to replace trees. No one is planning to tear through your local urban park, ripping down old growth redwoods and replacing them with glowing slime. This project was inspired by its place of origin, Belgrade, home to 2 of the top 10 dirtiest coal power plants in Europe. In 2020, the Global Alliance for Health and Pollution listed Serbia as the most polluted country in Europe, with an estimated 175 people per 100,000 dying from pollution every single year. And I know you guys love Mr. Beast, but you can't just plant trees and get out of that sort of thing. Addressing this issue requires a multi-pronged approach of, yes, encouraging green spaces, but also enforcing industry standards, and also coming up with novel solutions that most people wouldn't immediately think of. I'm often very critical of people who think that we can just science and technology our way out of large-scale global problems, especially when they're relying upon billionaire idiots like Elon Musk to do it. But in this case, we're actually talking about an academic team of scientists who are proposing the solution. They also know it's not an easy cure-all. It's just one part of a bigger picture. And the project actually seems to be pretty effective. And also, it's really cool. I'm not someone who's interested in the newest iPhone or random cool gadgets, but I can appreciate a well-designed hunk of technology that tries to make the world a better place. And this is it. The green slime in question is actually microalgae. And algae, if you didn't know, is responsible for providing 70% of our planet's oxygen. And it turns out it's actually really, really good at converting carbon dioxide into oxygen. While this installation takes up the space of 2 mature trees, it's anywhere from 10 to 50 times more efficient at producing oxygen than those trees would be. It's also installed in a place where trees can't really grow. Belgrade is really densely packed. Green space is already at a minimum. Places that you can turn into green space are at a minimum. And the pollution that's already in the air makes it difficult for trees to survive up to maturity. Now, are you worried that this installation is wasting electricity to keep this algae alive? Well, you shouldn't worry because it's actually providing additional electricity thanks to the solar panels installed on the top. It provides enough power to keep the algae alive and enough leftover power to provide a little nightlight and charge your devices while you sit and relax on the built-in bench. Are you worried about the long-term upkeep of this installation? Well, you shouldn't be because the algae thrives in fresh water that can be both high and low temperatures. And every 6 weeks or so, you just have to remove about half of the algae, replace it with water and nutrients. And what do you do with that excess algae you remove? Well, it turns out it makes a great fertilizer. It's very much a shame that the knee-jerk reaction to this online has been dystopia, because the researchers say that this project aims to popularize and expand the use of microalgae in Serbia because they can be used in wastewater treatment, as compost for green areas, for the production of biomass and biofuels, as well as for air purification from exhaust gases from the factories. The real purpose of this project, it's not just to single-handedly solve pollution. It's to stimulate conversation and get people thinking about creative ways to tackle big problems like pollution and to use nature itself in order to make our world a better place. Personally, I think that's super fucking cool. And I hope that at least the people of Belgrade can appreciate the awesome efforts of their scientists, even if it's not translating well to the English-speaking world of social media. So that's all. Just had to get it off my chest. Green slime is cool. Knee-jerk cynicism is not. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you loved the video, please subscribe. And if you think the world could use more videos like this and you happen to have a few bucks laying around, head to patreon.com/Rebecca and join an awesome community of nerds like the people whose names you see on the screen right now. Thanks.